Good afternoon, everyone. Over the last month, life has certainly changed for Islanders and for people across the world. It's hard to believe it was only 2 months ago when we launched our 2020 tourism marketing campaign. And we were getting ready for what we had hoped would be another record-breaking tourism season for Prince Edward Island. And now, here we are in the thick of a global pandemic with restricted travel, closed businesses, and with their tourism operators feeling left in the dark, not knowing what the future brings for our island's tourism season that's only a couple months away. As Minister responsible for tourism, my heart breaks for our island's tourism industry. I wish I had a crystal ball to ease your worries and your fears and give you all the answers and information you need. But just like you, I too am learning every day how to deal with these unprecedented times. I know I don't have control over what will happen to our island's tourism season this year. But as Minister, I know that what I can do is support our tourism industry in every way possible. When my department first learned about the potential impacts COVID-19 could have on our island's tourism industry, we knew we had to take action quickly. Together, Tourism PEI and a consultant engaged with the industry to hear about these issues that they are facing. Gathering this information has helped us pinpoint what supports we need to provide to the industry during these unprecedented times. So with that, today I'm very pleased to share the following supports we have developed from Prince Edward Island's tourism industry. A $50 million tourism assistant loan package. These loans will be provided through Finance PEI with maximum financing of up to $1 million at 4% interest available for working capital. Payments will be deferred for the first 18 months, and we've set up a special fund through Tourism PEI to cover interest costs over this period. The total value of interest payments will be approximately $3 million. Today, we're also rolling out a new tourism interest relief program. This $10 million program will help our island tourism operators cover their interest costs on existing loans for up to 18 months. These can be loans they have with their local bank or credit union, as well as loans through BDC and Finance PEI. While no one knows what the future holds for our island tourism season, a key item Tourism PEI remains focused on during this unprecedented time is preparation. We want to make sure we have done everything we possibly can to be prepared for when life returns to somewhat normal. So with that, we are investing an additional $1 million into marketing and research so that when we can begin to market Prince Edward Island as a destination for travelers, whenever that time comes, we'll be ready. We know that tourism operators are required to pay a variety of fees every year. Today, I'm happy to share that we will be waiving all licensing fees, inspection fees, marketing fees, and signage fees for tourism operators. For those who have already paid these fees for the 2020 season, you will be reimbursed. In total, we'll be refunding $2 million back into the pockets of tourism operators. We know tourism operators are experiencing significant financial pressures right now, and we hope by waiving these fees, it can help alleviate a bit of that pressure. I feel the need to recognize that with all the supports we announced today, we know there's still no simple solution that will solve all the problems the tourism industry is currently facing. Our hope is that today's supports can help prepare the tourism industry for the upcoming season, without knowing exactly what this year's season will look like. Like I said before, I do wish I had a crystal ball to solve everyone's problems and give everyone the answers they need. But what I can promise is that my department will continue to work hard every day to figure out what we can do to support Islanders during these challenging times. As we continue to work together, we will get through this together. Thank you, and now I'll pass it over to Minister Thompson.
Thank you, Minister McKay. That was an excellent announcement. For many islanders, COVID-19 interrupted their ability to work. Whether they've been laid off, unable to find work, or had a delay in their start to their seasonal employment. This has made it difficult to put food on the table and help their families, among others, with financial strains. As government, we are committed to being there for islanders during these especially challenging times. Over the past few weeks, we've put together programs in place in an effort to help ease the burden of COVID-19. We have also seen communities, industries, organizations come together to support islanders in many ways as they can. As islanders, we share the deep sense of love for neighbors and our natural instinct to support one another, especially during difficult times. Last weekend, I was fortunate enough to be a part of an incredible act of generosity from our agricultural community to support islanders in need. Prince Edward Island Potato Board, Amalgamated Dairies Limited, and the Department of Agriculture and Land, with the support of the Department of Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy, collaborated to create the Island Producers Helping Islanders initiative. Through this partnership, 3,000 islanders and families received care package that included 2-liter container of milk, a package of cheese, and 10 pounds of potatoes from locations in Charlottetown and Summerside. These care packages were given out at drive-through locations in Charlottetown and Summerside with no questions asked. Through this act, we have been able to assist people in need, and producers have been able to share their products with islanders. Unlike many dairy industry across this country, I'm pleased that our dairy industry has been able to make use of their excess product in a way that benefits community without needing to dispose of any of it. While last weekend initiative supported many island families, we know that many more are in need as they face challenges created by this global pandemic. We know that many were unable to travel to pick up the care packages last weekend. With that in mind, I am pleased to announce our community partners, ADL and the Potato Board, have come on board to help us offer this initiative again. This Saturday, April 18th, we'll be holding a second Island Producer Helping Islanders care package at three different drive-through locations. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., while supplies last, islanders can pick up packages at the following location: Bluefield High School, West Isle High School, and Brudenell Golf and Resort. Each location will be giving away 1,500 care packages that include a container of milk, a package of cheese, and a bag of potatoes. This week, we'll expand our reach by working with groups that assist vulnerable islanders who may not have transportation to the event. We will work with them to try to set aside packages for delivery to people in need. We will be promoting this weekend's event over the coming days and encouraging islanders to share this information with anyone who may be in need. This effort wouldn't happen without the generosity of our food producers and the efforts of a lot of people. I want to thank everyone that's making this possible. Hopefully this act of kindness will make even the smallest difference for island families. It's together we can do great things for our communities and each other. Before we open it up to questions, I do have a few other updates to pass along. Following up from the announcement from earlier this afternoon, I would like to clarify a few things with respect to individuals traveling to Prince Edward Island. Essential workers traveling to Prince Edward Island do not need to contact EMO in advance. EMO will be responding to individuals with travel-related inquiries, hopefully within 24 hours. There have been numerous calls and emails sent to EMO in the past 2 hours, and staff are doing their best to respond to them as quickly as possible. EMO is only fielding travel-related inquiries. All other inquiries to COVID, including information about programs, supports, should be directed to the toll-free information line or visit COVID webpage at the provincial site. Island Waste Watch management. As the weather continues to get warmer and the snow clears, crews in the department are noticing a lot more garbage and debris littering the ground in our communities. A reminder to Islanders that littering and dumping is illegal. The Island Waste Watch Management Corporation would like also to remind Islanders the following. Sorting properly is important. Sites continue to be closed to the public. If waste carts are rejected, please resort for the next scheduled collection. Please include please include only 2 additional bags with black cart collection as per normal guidelines. Waste volumes continue to be high as Islanders are using it for spring cleaning time. As per usual, the driver collect waste in your cart plus 2 bags or old garbage cans. Blue bag collection is on schedule, but free drop-off on Saturdays have been eliminated until further notice. Let's work together to keep our island clean and safe. Another update, reminder of fires in the province. A fire closure order issued under the Fire Prevention Act prohibits open fires in Prince Edward Island. The ban on outdoor burning is in place to keep volunteer and government firefighters safe. Almost all of our wildland fires on Prince Edward Island are a result of fires that have escaped from controlled burn. While firefighters are essential and are ready to respond to fires if needed, it is good practice to limit their exposure. The majority of other Canadian jurisdictions have also implemented the ban on outdoor burning for the spring period. This ban includes recreational campfires. Only exception in fires is contained in a fire pit and exclosure equipped with a spark arrestor or chimney with a spark arrestor. The ban also suspends burning permits issued by the Department of Environment, Water, and Climate Change and the Fire Marshal's Office. If you see an open fire, please call 911. We will now open the floor for questions to the media.
Sam Yerk, CBC.
Hi there. I think my question would be for Minister Thompson. How are people without cars going to get free milk and cheese who are walking, who don't have transportation out in Bluefield and et cetera?
So we're working with community groups and special groups to help the vulnerable people that don't have transportation. They can do early pickup. We're going to do early pickup for deliveries at 8 a.m. At all 3 locations. So we're working. This will be announced over the next few days. Numbers that you can call maybe to have a package delivered if you're in that area and need deliveries.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nicole Williams, CBC.
Hi there. My first question is for Minister McKay. At what point what have you been hearing from tourism operators? This is quite a large sum of money, and I know some are frustrated by loan programs, especially because it means that they'll just have to come up with the money after the fact. So I'm wondering if you ever considered just funding tourism operators. And I'm wondering if you also felt caught off guard by the severity of the impact to tourism.
Thanks, Nicole. Good question. So over the last 4 weeks, we've been dealing with a lot of tourism operators in industry, and we've heard all different scenarios. And there's a fear for sure because it's the unknown. We don't know how long this is going to last and what impact it's going to have, but we know there is going to be an impact. So what we've done is I feel that tourism is probably one of the biggest industries that is going to be impacted by this. We have our 3 major industries, but tourism is we're close to tourism season now, and it's the unknown. So what we done, we listened to as much advice as industry could give us, and this was where a lot of their input come into. we certainly looked at what we could do financially as without loans and grants and so forth, and the money it would be significant to the point where we couldn't absorb it. It would put us in financial strain. So the big thing I heard from them is they need time, and that's where this 18 months comes into effect, because we know it's not only going to be this season, but it's going to be partly into next season. So we want to defer with interest and payments as long as we could, and from industry, that's where the 18 months come from.
Thank you. And my next question is for Minister Thompson. We know that islanders can be fined for not listening to public health or not following public health orders, but I'm wondering if under this state of emergency, if there are any additional consequences for people. I'm wondering if the province has the power now to arrest people if they don't comply.
Yes, they can be charged, and there is forms of fines, but it's more the authority to lay charges.
Rachel Collier, Eastern Graphic.
Hi, I have a question for Mr. Thompson, and I'm just curious about the care packages. How much money is the province contributing to those packages or other resources for the initiative?
So it's a three-way partnership with government, ADL, and the Potato Board. We're all in this together, and the commodity groups have really stepped up. They have extra product right now that they have to move, and they came to us with this initiative, and we're helping it out through, it's our manpower that's helping organize and deliver the product, but it's a lot of donation. A lot of it's donated from the producers. So.
Okay, so a lot of it. Do you have any, like a percentage? Are you funding any of it, or is it mostly those who are donating?
No, it's a three-way partnership. It's we're kind of working it that way.
Okay, thanks.
Stu Neepy, The Guardian.
Hi, good afternoon to you both. First question to Minister MacKay. Wondering if you have numbers, I guess, for tourism operators and PEI of how much dollars have been lost, I guess, by operators so far up to date, and I guess how many jobs have been lost in the tourism industry alone up to now?
Thank you, Stu. We don't have any exact numbers, but what we've been hearing from operators is, especially in the accommodation sector, that there's been a lot of bookings lost, so a lot of deposits have gone back, and the season's still up in the air. So we don't have any final numbers, but we're getting calls daily from industry and different groups as well to kind of tell us what they're going through, so we can learn from it. The department's fielding calls every day on this, and like I say, it's the unknown. We're still confident that we're going to have somewhat of a tourism season. That's what we're working towards. So now we're just trying our best to help these operators get open when the time comes and market PEI the best we can, that we can grab some of that season when it's left.
Okay, thanks for that. And second question to Minister Thompson. So earlier today, you'd mentioned that part of the reason for having a state of emergency declared was to sort of, I guess, give some of the staff resources of the Chief Public Health Office a bit of a break. So I guess I'm wondering does that mean that there will be sort of a reallocation of, say, EMO staff to some of the roles that CPHO staff have been doing, or if it's just to basically allow people to have like a weekend or just a bit of a break from the overstretching stuff that was mentioned?
It's a combination. It's not a full takeover of the borders, but we're working with CPHO on that. We're fielding the calls about essential, non-essential travel, and EMO is taking charge of that. So it's not a complete takeover, but we're working in complementary with CPHO on this.
Okay, thanks.
Carrie Wynn, Ocean 100.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My first question is for Minister Thompson, again referencing the 1:30 news conference and declaring the state of emergency. That's in effect until April 30th at 11:59, I believe you said. So following that into May and June, that's when we really start to see traffic ramp up for the tourism industry. Is there a possibility that that state of emergency could go past April 30th and those screening measures would still be in place as restrictive as they are now?
Yeah, we put the 14 days in there to see how it's going to work, and after the 14 days, we can extend it or we can terminate it. But of course, we're still going to be in the health emergency, the state of public health emergency, of course, and so we have the option to extend it past the 14 days, of course. That'll be a cabinet decision.
My next question then is for Minister MacKay. Referencing the $50 million tourism industry fund that you announced today, and payments being deferred for 18 months, the maximum is $1 million that people can apply for. But what other qualifications does a tourism operator need in order to qualify for any of that funding?
Thank you, Carrie Wynn. So what we're doing right now is developing the criteria. What we're trying to do is help as many tourism operators out as we can, possibly ones that might have had problems getting financing in the past through Finance PEI. We're trying to develop all businesses that would be affected on the tourism side of it that would have an impact. We're being creative behind the scenes. So I think over the coming days when the calls start coming in and we see what we're dealing with, but the main thing is we're trying to help as many of these tourism operators as we absolutely can at this time.
Thank you.
Laurent Lavoie.
Yes, good afternoon. I have a question for Minister MacKay. Can you tell me a little bit more about the $1 million research fund? Is it to develop an ad, to an advertisement, to attract tourists later this year? What is it about exactly?
So thank you for the question. So over the last 6 months, we've developing our marketing campaign. We were really looking forward to another record-setting year here in PEI on the tourism side of it. So what we've done now, we've completely had to change our marketing approach. We're looking at ways that we can be creative, that we can focus on some of this tourism season. We feel that it's going to be more local, Atlantic Canada, as well as Prince Edward Island. So what we've done, we've taken that additional $1 million, and when the time comes that it looks like our season is ready to go, we'll be pushing marketing dollars out as quick as we can and try and get as much tourism traffic as we can in that window.
And just to follow up on that, do you plan? Is the strategy to extend a little bit the season over? Later this fall?
Yes, most definitely. We're going to try and get as long-term a season as we can out of this. And the marketing team's working behind the scenes right now. They've been working on this over the last few weeks. There's been a lot of discussions, consultations going out. And like I say, when some of the restrictions look like they're going to be lifted, then we're full steam ahead.
Thank you.
Julien, Radio-Canada.
Hi, Ministers. A question for you, Minister MacKay. The CTMA just announced a couple of days ago that they will cancel the whole season for the ferry between Surrey and the Magdalene. My question after what you just announced about the funding, like the fact that there's no season and no ferry for Surrey, it's huge for the economic of Surrey. Who will be really able, to apply for these funds? Because in Surrey, everybody is living from this ferry, the revenues from this ferry is like, we can speak about the hotels, the restaurants, but the gas station, maybe the grocery store. Who will be able to apply to this fund?
Thank you for the question. I was under the understanding that the ferry was only canceled to June, so I didn't realize they had canceled all summer. I thought it was just until June. So I'm going to have to verify that. But yeah, Surrey obviously depends on the ferry traffic there. I spent quite a bit of time in Surrey last summer touring some of the tourism operations. We can see that there's definitely an impact going to be had there if the ferry shut down completely. So all them tourism operations in Surrey, they can apply for this money as well. Like I say, we're trying to help as many tourism operations across PEI as we can.
Yeah, so the season is shut down until the end of September for the ferry season. Is it a possibility maybe for you, for the province, to give maybe an extra funding just for the town of Surrey to help them to go through this difficult time?
Thanks for the question. All our funding would cover island-wide, so no community be any different. Like I say, any of these tourism operators in Surrey that are impacted can certainly come and apply. We're going to try and help as many island organizations and tourism operators as we can.
Thank you.
That's it for questions, everyone. Thank you all Islanders for tuning in. Until we see you again, stay safe and healthy. Thank you.